My name is Molo Almawian, and I'm from South Sudan. I have been living here for 17 years in Australia, and especially in Toowoomba. My father was a very rich man with different type of cattle. He was having his own good land with a lot of different type of livelihood that he was living in.
Oh, beautiful.
I used to go into the bush with the cattle. But in Dinka culture, you don't have to kill them in order to eat for the meat, to eat the meat for that particular cow. You have to make sure they are like part of the family life. They have to be looked after well. They have to be maintained in a very good environment so that they don't have to get some diseases. You have to have a very nice looking cattle too. What I have seen here, there are some farmers who have got a very good, nice spotty cows. For us, back home, they are the most beautiful source of the animal that you could see, that they were actually being created during our creation time from God, that the cattle are part of the human being life. So for us, we see them that they are the most important asset to have than money. We could learn a lot from this community that could be beneficial for us and for the next generation. But what I have seen here is more productive way of life for the farmers and way of life for the animals that they keep, like the cattle.
Half Moon Farm, we started in November last year, so we moved from another property just down the road called Thistlebrook and brought this one with the idea of setting it up as a mixed farm. So it's got a small avocado orchard, 24 trees that we'll add a small number of trees to. We've got a small market garden that's growing mixed veggies, so a range of salad greens and other vegetables. So we're just about to start getting ready for our summer planting. There's so much to learn about growing food and growing plants. I consider myself in that sense a lifelong learner. I don't believe in myself as an expert at all, so there's always something to learn, and I guess learning from those farmers that have been doing things on that small scale, organic by default, there's a multitude of techniques and things that can be learned from them. So yeah, absolutely, I'd be really keen to find out more about their traditional practices, things like what they plant when. Some of their seasons, I guess, is similar in parts of Africa to ours here, so that's an important thing as well. And things like living with drought and actually growing plants without water, that's something that in our part of the world will become more and more important, I think, with climate change. When we had the visitors come out to the farm and were looking at the veggie patch, they specifically asked about okra. So it was one of those crops, I guess, that I've grown in the recent past, but I haven't grown for a few years. So we've since decided to plant some okra. So we've just sown a batch of seedlings this week. They'll go into the ground, and hopefully we'll have some for ourselves, and then we'll share some with people who are interested in some of those, I guess you might call them, alternative summer crops.
Nice to meet you all.
My name is Louise Noble, and I'm the founder of the Mulberry Project, which is based in a little town called Nobby, about half an hour south of Toowoomba in southwest Queensland. We've had involvement with both the Congolese and Sudanese communities in the Mulberry Project, sort of in slightly different ways. One of our Congolese community members was actually under the mulberry tree when the conversation happened. So that particular family have been involved right from the beginning. First of all, the really interesting thing was trying to understand what were the things that people really missed and what were the vegetables that people really wanted to grow. And so it's very interesting sort of in conversations with the Congolese community and the South Sudanese community. There's particular vegetables that they have that are very hard for them to find, but they're quite different one from the other. So that was the thing that I found very interesting working on the project, is you can't say the African community. There are many African communities with very diverse culinary traditions, and that's something that we've been able to do with the project, is actually to represent in a small way the diversity of those cultures. The community lunch at the Peperina Gallery was a really fabulous day. It doesn't matter what the situation is, they sort it out. Like it always works out. Like we've never done anything where it hasn't been successful. They don't get phased about things not being perfect. They just sort of work around things. They've really loved being able to showcase their culture. Even if their English is not perfect, they can showcase their culture through their food, and seeing people enjoying the food gives people, a great sense of recognition, I suppose. Food and the growing of food brings them back to a happy place, and it is a very primal thing, actually, and it gives everyone a very great sense of well-being.